Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief, brought to you as always by Lay of the Land. As always, you join me every Monday to Thursday for a look at those top headlines making the news in Israel. And today, there is only one thought on all of our minds: Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir. And our hearts, our love, our prayers are with Yarden, her sister Dana, and the entire family and all their loved ones. A short while ago, we finished laying Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir to rest. Eternal rest in the soil of the state of Israel, in the beautiful area that they called home, near to Kibbutz Nir Oz. Today is 509 since that horrific day on the 7th of October 2023. There are still 63 hostages that remain captive in the hell of Gaza, and we want them home now. But today, for all Israelis, for Jews around the world, and so many of our friends and allies, today belonged to the Bibas family. So I haven't prepared anything. I'm just going to speak to you from my heart. And I'm going to take you back to that moment on the 7th of October where we saw Shiri, Ariel, and baby Kfir taken from their home in the beautiful kibbutz of Nir Oz. Yarden, their father, was taken captive, violently separate to them. We saw Shiri, her face contorted in terror. She cradled her two orange-haired little boys. Orange has come to be the symbol of the Bibas family. And last night, all across Israel, major landmarks lit up in orange, from the Knesset to the president's residence to air traffic control, and all of us today standing sentinel to pay our respects and our love and lay them to rest. For 509 days, you have stood with us, you have prayed with us, you have called from all corners of the earth to bring them home now, and we hoped against hope. We prayed so hard that Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir's ending would be a happy one. But last week we had confirmation of the devastating news that shortly after they were taken captive, they were brutally murdered at the hands of the terrorists that held them captive. Over the last week, we have received back to Israel, back to our loving arms, the bodies of Shiri, Ariel, and baby Kfir. Baby Kfir, who didn't even get to celebrate his 1-year birthday. And today we laid them to rest in a single coffin so that they will never ever be separated. Excuse me. From early this morning, tens of thousands of Israelis lined the funeral procession route as it made its way from Rishon LeZion all the way to the cemetery. I have never seen anything like this. I'm old enough to remember the funerals of Diana, Princess of Wales, and of course more recently the late Queen, where people lined the routes, but I've never seen anything like this. As the procession with its outriders and the family in the vehicles made its way slowly, you could hear the muted sobbing of people. Israeli flags were flown, people wore orange, people flew orange flags. You could hear people saying, Slicha, I'm sorry. And the muted singing of Hatikva, the Hope, Israel's national anthem. What was very moving as the funeral procession moved through was Yarden Bibas making the sign of the heart to all the people of Israel. The family sent a message to everyone via their social media, thanking everybody, telling everybody how they are holding them, how they are helping them to stand strong. Yarden Bibas said he wished he could get out of the vehicle and come and hug every single person. And I know that all of you watching from all around the world have joined us in prayer and in hope. And I can't say better what our own president, President Herzog, said in a tweet on social media shortly before the funeral began. Now, the funeral was closed to the public and to the media, but the eulogies were open to everybody. And I'm going to read to you President Herzog's tweet in full, and then I'll read to you some of the eulogies from Yarden and from Shiri's sister and sister-in-law. So President Herzog says, "Today an entire country and an entire people are in the grips of grief and mourning, pain and tears, at an hour when two little lambs, golden babes, are finally coming back to their mother, back to us, back home. And we, all of us, an entire nation with a broken heart, accompany them to their final resting place. Dear God, this isn't the return we were praying for. This isn't the hour we were waiting for. This wasn't the end we were hoping for. In our mind's eye, we saw them coming back, their golden heads shining, their liveliness and vitality emanating from their little eyes. And Mama Shiri, in her astounding courage, still shielding them under her wings, protecting them from harm just as she did, facing down the devil who had descended on them, still so tender and young. That image of Shiri, her eyes wild with terror, carrying her two glittering babies, making her way through a gauntlet of rifle butts and human monsters, is seared into us forever. It's an image that simultaneously holds both the purest light and the most sublime and noble love, juxtaposed inconceivably alongside the most terrifying and unadulterated evil. It's an image that captures just one blink of an eye, just one moment, which tells the whole story of the tragedy of October 7th, Simchat Torah, the essence of goodness versus the depravity of murder, and we are left with the rupture. The lullaby in our hearts is an eternal lullaby, sending sweet dear Kfir and Ariel and their magnificent mother Shiri to eternal rest. If there is still mercy in this world, let the beautiful faces of Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir be a heart-piercing cry. Let it resonate through the four corners of the earth. Let it reverberate to the ends of the world, and let it awaken hearts that have been dulled, that have lost touch with their sense of justice, that have been closed and hardened. Look over here, world. Today we are bearing the sweetest and purest of your children. Open your heart. Add your voice to the wailing cry of a broken nation. Beloved Shiri, Kfir, and Ariel, know that from the day you were torn from us, we never stopped praying, waiting, crying, hoping against hope that you would come back to us alive. That, along with brave Yarden, who came back to us so recently from the valley of the shadow of death, you too would come back to your beautiful warm home. Here now there are no words that can heal our aching hearts. We refuse to be comforted. Dear Yarden, Bibas, Silverman, and Siton families, we are all crying with you. We are all embracing you. We are all broken along with you. As the President of the State of Israel, on behalf of the State of Israel, I ask for your forgiveness. Forgiveness for not meeting our duty. Forgiveness for not protecting your loved ones on that dark day. Forgiveness for not saving them, for not getting them home safely. In this hour of rupture, I want to quote the words of Ohad Ben Ami, who, after coming back from the horrors of captivity, to the following said to me, as soon as we knew that people were fighting for us, that people wanted us back, it gave us strength and lifted our spirits. There were 6 of us in a 6 square meter space, all together, secular and religious, soldiers and civilians. We were in atrocious conditions, 30 meters underground, but we were together. That's what we are made of. Words about unity don't always find their way into people's hearts, but hearing Ohad, who came back from inconceivable hell, talking about our unity as something with the power to save lives, that's not a slogan. That's an injunction with a sacred, compelling resonance for all of us. The live, beating and beautiful heart of our people, which has come forward this year in all of its glory. holds many voices, and all of us, every last part of this nation, must now look at the pictures of Shiri, Kfir and Ariel in the eye and vow to hold on tight together, a whole nation with a broken heart. We will accompany Kfir, Ariel and Mama Shiri to eternal rest, while tearing the heavens above open with our prayer. May their beloved pure souls be bound in the bonds of life forever, and may we merit the speedy return of all the hostages, every last one of them. I don't think any of us can say that better than President Herzog. Then Bibas stood up to speak. He spoke of the beauty of their relationship, of their love, saying, Shiri, watch over me so I don't fall into the darkness. Saying, I will always love you. Speaking about his two beautiful boys, saying how perfect and what a perfect family they had. His sister Ofri also spoke, saying they could have saved you, but they didn't. Speaking of her hopes and her dreams, that her brother's children, Kfir and Ariel, would one day grow old and play with her children. Shiri's sister, eulogizing her sister, saying to her she's going to be with their parents who were also murdered on the 7th of October, 3 generations united. And she ended her eulogy saying, send energy down to sweep away all the evil and bring only love. There are no words that will bring adequate healing today. There are no words that will bring adequate comfort. All I can say is may the memory of Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir be a revolution. May it be eternally blessed. And may our hearts continue to open and may our arms continue to clutch tightly the families of Shiri, Ariel, and Kfir. May they rest in peace. This is the end of today's edition of the Israel Brief, but please don't forget to check us out on our website at www.layoftheland.online, our YouTube channel right here at the Israel Brief, our Facebook page is at Lottel's site, our LinkedIn, you can find us on LinkedIn at Rolene Marks, on Instagram at Rolene_Marks, and on X at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. God bless you all, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.